Hi, friends. Host Eric here, talking with friends people. I want to start this evening with articulating that I got an email from Raphael trying to continue his stupid drug argument from this morning. Like, I got time for this shit, right? I mean, seriously. Even if I do have time for it. I got all the time in the world, right? But not for that. Why would somebody be so determined to make universal statements about things about which universal statements don't apply or couldn't possibly apply? You know what I'm saying? Dogs and dogettes. You're welcome, Pete. What, you want more? You want more of those? All right. Give you a few more. There you go. Sometimes I think he's saying thank you, and sometimes I think he's asking for more. This time he's asking for more when he honks at me. Honk. He's saying, I need even more cat food than you've already given me, Eric. But the nice thing is, now that I learned that he eats cat food, it makes it a lot easier to feed him. I just feed him and the cats all the same thing. So he likes this Iams cat food. Yeah, he yells at us if we don't feed him soon enough, or if he wants more, he'll honk at us, you know. Honk. Sometimes he says thank you when he's walking away. Which is really nice. And he does. And he's clearly done eating, but he honks as he's walking away. I take that to mean thank you. Silly peacock friend. He's a peacock. He's a peacock that honks at us if we don't give him food when he wants it right away. Anyway, I don't have time for this shit. That's the title of this video. What shit don't I have time for? I don't have time for the combative nonsense that I deal with all the time, you know? And of course, technically it's a lie. I totally have time for it. But what I mean is that even though I got all the time in the world, I don't got time for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this. Like this shit the cloud said. You know? Yeah, that last one was a battle from start to finish. So I resolved to not engage in this kind of battle during this live stream. I'm just gonna chill out. I'm gonna relax. She is clothed with dignity and strength. She's kind. She's unique. She's thankful. She is laughter. She is devotion. She is honor. She is an SFJ. It was intense, huh, Lawnmower? Yes, your new apartment was previously occupied by an SFJ. Congratulations, Octavia Silva. You are loved. This is my something I tell Rachel that, I totally get jealousy. I don't like to hear Rachel talk about her past relationships and stuff. Um, but I'm feeling like I'm sort of maturing out of it a little bit, out of jealousy. Uh, I recognize that, like, for example, my second wife used to tell that to me. Used to say that to me as a positive thing, positive form of communication with me. She'd say, "You are loved," when I'd feel down or blue, as I often did because I was a drunk. She was. It was a very sick relationship in some ways. But regardless, I took that expression and I liked it. I use it. I say those things to Rachel sometimes. I say those things people hear. It's a good expression. So it's not fair to entirely dispatch with I'm not using for comparison or throwing in the face, but I do use it to learn things from about relationships. That was something good in a previous relationship. Not all previous relationships were bad, even though they were all failures. Some were bad and failures, and some were just failures, right? That's my experience with previous relationships. My first marriage, bad and a failure. My second marriage is good but a failure. It's like it was a healthy relationship. So, or it wasn't really a fully healthy relationship, but it wasn't actively unhealthy. Let me put it that way. There wasn't nearly the kind of intimacy or closeness that Rachel and I have now in that relationship. But it's like we weren't as real with each other. But the fact is that there were lots of good sort of behaviors, relationship behaviors that we engaged in that relationship that I don't mind drawing from. It's not about the person, it's about the behaviors. And I learned a lot about what kind of behaviors are bad in my last relationship, but I did learn, some things about what kind of behaviors are good in the relationship prior to that. Candace and I both tried our best to treat each other well, and so it didn't work because we weren't meant to be together, But it doesn't change the fact that there's some sorts of. It's definitely the case. It's kind of opposite in relationships than it is in real life. It's like Tolstoy says: happy relationships are all the same. Unhappy relationships are all different. My mom would say my dad was the love of her life, even though they're divorced. Ironically, my dad is still semi resentful. Huh? Well, what did they get divorced over? Did your mom cheat? That would make anybody resentful. What was the quote again? I forgot it already. What I just said. It's completely out of my brain already. It's funny. So, the thing that strikes you, the Tolstoy quote, right? Thank you. Happy families are all the same, unhappy families are all different, or something like that. It's a paraphrase, not a really quote. But the point is that it's the reason, in some sense, happy relationships are all the same is because in happy relationships, people are yeah, so it seems to be opposite of TI, right? FI is. The FI universals, the positives, the healthy interaction styles, the ability to communicate back and forth and stuff like that is universal as a positive indication. But the negative, what one ought not do, is particular. It depends on the circumstances and what people want to have done or whatever. Everyone is broken in different ways, but I argue there's often a common theme. Well, this is the thing, Zane Black. Not everybody's broken. Everybody's been wounded at some point. And to the extent to which those wounds are still actively involved in a person's identity, depends on where they are in their, how much wounding they took in the first place and where they are in their growth arc, in their healing arc. So, I have been wounded in certain ways. I have insecurity areas still. I'm certainly not some sort of enlightened, I'm not, thank God, I'm not Eckhart Tolle, I don't make the mistake of believing that presenting a wise and aware and self-satisfied affect is the same thing as, as some sort of spiritual accomplishment, or that just putting aside reason for NI is some sort of spiritual accomplishment. It's not, obviously. So, I'm not trying to say that, it's just that with actual relationships, you're dealing with an actual human being. Well, evolution, don't get me started on evolution, Jason. Evolutionarily means nothing. So, guess what I got? Guess where we just got back from? Someplace pretty fun. Someplace pretty exciting. That's right, we just got back from the pharmacy. So, guess what I got? Guess what I took a couple of? Can you guess? No, we didn't go to the weed store. No, not the weed store. We went to the actual pharmacy. Guess whose new prescription came in? Who's gonna have a thwackage party tonight? It's me. I'm gonna have a thwackage party tonight. All right. We've got nothing better to do than thwack all night and have a couple of stew. Yeah. We've been a thwack. The correct word in Eric tongue anyway, Jerry Pendleburton, is thwack. Okay. It's a little bit more obscure than twack, which is more obscure than tweak, which is good. We want to remove it from the word tweak as one more step and add an H in there to make it thwack. Okay. I appreciate the inclusion of Finna. And let me tell you, our memes are going to be incredibly dank. See how young I sound? I am totally winning the young person contest. Do you believe in reincarnation? Lawnmower, yeah. Cloud asked with 3 question marks, and wow, that's a lot of question marks for him. 3 question marks, question mark again. That's 3 question marks means you have to answer, Lawnmower. 2 question marks, you can answer. 1 question mark is totally up to you. 2 question marks you should answer, but you don't absolutely have to. Yes. Rachel is doing something on her laptop inside. I don't know what. Capio is... I don't know where she is. She's not in sight right now. Yes, that's how. Listen, if you want to talk like a young person, this is the perfect young person sentence. I was smashing my girl while I was rolling in the Rari and enjoying dank memes on my phone. That's how you talk like a young person. I was smashing my girl while I was rolling in the Rari while concurrently enjoying some dank memes on my phone. Yes, I've been loving it. I introduced Rachel to it this morning as well. It's great, Cloud. Thank you for asking. Fantastic. I had some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sexual intercourse earlier today. It was more of a production than usual, I guess you could say. I'm not going to describe it in detail. Harley Quinn, I think, is an ESFP. I think her friend Ivy. No, you know what? Catwoman's an INFJ. I actually think Poison Ivy is an SFJ. I think she's an ISFJ. She's a really cool ISFJ. She might be an INFP, I guess. I agree, Jason Blood. It's not a very hugely important thing in life. I've been thinking about it a lot. What type is Poison Ivy? It's like she's got the politics and such of an INFP, but she seems to be FE. Because like look at her relationship with Kite Man, right? That's very FE how she's embarrassed about him, and then there's something kind of NTP-ish about her. She might be I don't know. I'm thinking INFP, maybe. But the INFPs wouldn't be embarrassed like that. So maybe INTP. Oh, I think I have to poop soon. I highly recommend it. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Oh. So anyway, I think she's not very TI INTP, or she's but see, the thing is, compare her against Catwoman. Think about the scenes with her and Catwoman. Ivy's clearly Alpha Quadra and Catwoman's Beta Quadra. In that show, nah. She's playing all those social subtext games the whole time. Is there a movie, a live action movie with Poison Ivy in it? I never really heard of her before this show. She could be, yeah. I mean, talking about Ivy, I mean, I see her as Alpha Quadra. Oh, there's no live action of her? Okay. She's a good character. I like her. Oh, she was in the Batman animated series? Okay. Did she look the same as she looks in this series, in the Batman animated series? I like the way that they have the Legion of Doom and the Justice League buildings like look the same as they do in the old cartoons. I like that. It's like this round bubble thing with like evil looking eyes on it. She prefers to self-identify as an eco-terrorist, Lenore. Okay. Not really saying they changed her skin to green. Okay, cool. It's appropriate that she have green skin. She is the plant lady, They should call her Plant Cool Woman. Should be the the flora correlate to my character Landsquaman. There was one incarnation of Poison Ivy that was in the Batman movie. Huh. Well, no, I mean, I think the Green Agenda is not the same thing as eco-terrorism, lawnmower. Oh, she was in that horrible Batman movie with George Clooney? I don't know. I maybe didn't see that one. Probably I didn't see that one. Was she in the old Batman show with Adam West, Poison Ivy? Because that's my first Batman, okay? My first Batman, and I used to love it when I was a kid, when it was on reruns. I'd always watch when I could catch it. When I stay home from school sick or whatever, it was like on at 10 in the morning. I'd watch the old Batman with Adam West. That's a cool show, you know? You don't really realize how unique and cool it is until you're an adult. As a kid, when I was just watching it, I was just like, I like this show. This show is so much better than the other things that are on the other 3 channels right now. Because, of course, when I was a kid, we had like 4 channels. We had 2, 4, 5. Oh, we had more than 4. We had 2, 4, channel 2 and channel 4. That's CBS, NBC. We had channel 5, which is the local station, KTLA. Channel 7 was ABC. And then later on, there was channel 11, which was Fox. That's when Fox came out. Prior to Fox was there was channel 13, which was KCOP, and channel 9, which was KCAL, which are 2 local things, and channel 28. And that was it. So when I was a kid, we had the 3 networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, and we had 3 local stations, KTLA, KCAL 9, and KCOP 13. And then we had 1 public television station, channel 28, KCOP. And that's all the TV we had. So when I was a kid, if you're a child and you're watching stuff, they're the same. I mean, it's the same as they are now, basically. It's like if you get they've always been that. It's still the same. It's just they added a whole bunch more channels now, right? So, you know, Jason Blatt, I gotta tell you, I was lying in bed with Rachel earlier, and I was really feeling the love a lot. It comes and goes. You got to remember that. They're the same channels. I think they played reruns on Channel 9. Yeah, probably. Well, it's still the same. Channel 2 is CBS, Channel 4 is NBC, Channel 5 is KTLA, Channel 7 is KABC, Channel 9 is KCAL, Channel 11 now is Fox. That came in later. That came in around the same time The Simpsons came about. That's when Fox came into existence. And, you know, Channel 13 is KCOP. This is California I'm talking about. I'm talking about LA area. You must live in the LA area, Running Fox, do you? Cloud, I haven't been following what you're saying, but there's a pretty good chance you don't have a point. Yeah, I'm back in my childhood home. My parents moved into this house when I was 3 years old. Oh, Running Fox lives in Sacramento? Oh, we could have visited Running Fox when we visited Zandy. Running Fox, why didn't you let me know? I guess you were too busy running in the wilderness. As a fox. With hounds chasing you and Englishmen on horses in weird suits. Isn't that a weird hunt, a fox hunt? It's like you're hunting a fox, all right? This little thing like this. And you basically put together an army to hunt this thing. You got packs of dogs. You got men on horses. You got everybody armed. And you're all this firepower and energy to getting this little fox. What the hell, right? Well, you know what? Jason Blood, you heard it. You're gonna have to deal with it. You are stuck in your limited perception. You're never gonna have a really open mind like Cloud's. Okay? Cloud's mind is really, really open. You know. Like the the rectum of a professional fister receiver, you know, it's wide open. Imagine being a conglomeration of condensed precipitation. You mean like a puddle? Is that what that is? Is that a fancy way of saying puddle, Oliver? I'm pretty sure that's a puddle. Oh, it's a cloud. I see. I don't think that precipitation is really condensed yet until it's fallen. It's still in gaseous form. Okay, I don't think you're right there. I think a conglomeration of condensed precipitation would be a puddle, not a cloud. Yeah, Oliver. I bet you're really second guessing yourself now. You're wishing you could have that back. Go back in time and fix that shit, huh? I'm sorry to do that to you. But I do like the fact that if it were a puzzle, I would have said puddle as the answer. We can use humor all the day if it makes us feel better. What if it doesn't make us feel better? Then will you retract from us the ability to use humor? Guys, you better feel good or Cloud's going to take away our ability to use humor. I had a dream I was squished by a train. I was a ball of goo, yet my eyes perceived my death. That's not hilarious, Salem Black. That sounds scary. That's not a funny dream. Humor? Do you think I'm funny? Do you think I'm a clown here to amuse you? No, senor. Senor Lawnmower. Listen. My name is... Oh, what's my name again? Puerto Rico guy? Oh, it's Santiago de San Juan de Puerto Rico. Or something like that. If you want to meet a truly beautiful woman, come to Puerto Rico. If you want to make love to a beautiful woman, that's just the same as eating a grapefruit in Puerto Rico, land of grapefruit flavor. If you've never been to Puerto Rico, you have never, ever, ever, ever enjoyed the land of grapefruit flavor. The grapefruit flavor in Puerto Rico is second to none. I live in a little pueblo in Puerto Rico called Santo Domingo. Y in the center of Santo Domingo is un arbor de grapefruit. Y I say, oh, grapefruit, you are the flavor of my land. Puerto Rico, to sit on your grounds is like making love to a beautiful woman while eating grapefruits. Grapefruit is not vile. Okay, listen, you grapefruit haters. There's some shit I just won't put up around here, okay? That's grapefruit hating. What don't I have time for? Like Raphael's email. That's what I don't have time for. That's literally what's caused me to title this is that I got a email from Raphael trying to continue to argue with me about drugs and how they're bad or whatever. I just replied, I don't got time for this shit, you know? I do not have time for this shit. And I have plenty of time. Okay, that's the other relevant factor. I have lots of time, but I don't got time for that shit. All right. Raphael thinks that I'm somehow obligated to argue every little combative bullshit he brings my way to the nth degree. I'm not. And it's just like, wow. After that really super combative live stream this morning, getting that email, it was just like, oh, come on. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Talking about F.E. Polar, you know? Oh, it's fine. I think it's funny. You know. It's just it just makes me want to live stream about it. Like, are you kidding me? You still want to try to convince me that drugs are bad or something? It's like, you be drugs are bad for you. Let me be whatever for me, okay? We don't need to have some sort of universal rule about something that makes no sense to have a universal rule about. Yeah, I think he's an INTJ. I totally think he's an INTJ now. Nobody but an INTJ could possibly. Yeah, I mean, I agree, Aaron. He's not the same sort of INTJ as you. The other possibility is he could be. I think he's NI. He could be like ISFP, maybe a really combative ISFP. He's not an ESFP because he's got a little bit more TI than that. He could be, I guess, ESTJ because he seems NI, not SI. So I don't know. I don't know what else to type him as. He's not an ENTP. Drugs are good. Well, look, I'm not making that universal rule either. I don't advocate in favor or against. I'm just saying, for a lot of people, drugs and or alcohol comprise a significant part of their temporal bargaining arrangement. Everybody enjoys everybody does temporal bargaining. Temporal bargaining is when you go, okay, I really want both these dresses, but I can only afford one right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to buy one right now, but then to reward myself when I get home, I'll eat a whole pint of ice cream or something. That's temporal bargaining. Intoxicants factor into a lot of people's temporal bargaining arrangements. And the problem with drug policy in general and ideas about drugs is they don't understand that it's the same class of thing as what TV show you want to watch when you get home. It's self-soothing, and people need to be able to run their own personalized, I guess you'd call it your own personalized, like regimen of SI kind of self-care. You know, self-care is not just go to sleep on time. It's not just brush your teeth and take a bath and stuff. It's also things like, hey, I'm really upset right now. Shit's not going well. What firefighter am I going to turn to? People have these firefighters in their lives. When, you know, the thing about it, the idea of a manager and a firefighter. Manager is how you normally manager is how you normally deal with things. So a healthy way, if there's not a big problem, a manager says, well, let's use our successful regular management techniques. For me, marijuana is a management technique. Okay, it's not really a firefighter. I don't turn to it when I'm feeling like I need solvency, especially. It's a straightforward occurrence that it helps me in various ways when I feel like using it or something. But if that's when I'm really upset and I need to, that's when there's a fire, right? So the idea about a firefighter is they squirt water all over your house because it's on fire. It doesn't leave your house in good condition. It leaves it water damaged, but at least the fire's out. And so firefighters are things you do when shit's on fire. Basically what it turns, some people have really bad relationships with their firefighters. So you'll fuck it then and go get drunk and cheat or whatever, like that kind of thing. They're having a relationship problem. Or because most of the time when I'm having to apply a firefighter, it's because I'm having some sort of relationship problem. For me, my firefighters include going and playing poker, doing a little bit more or a little less, doing more Adderall than I would normally do if I'm upset. Maybe I'd take an extra, just say, fuck it, I'm going to take 4 instead of 2. Something like that. But those are very sustainable firefighters. So I've got my relationship with my managers and firefighters down now. I didn't used to. I used to have drinking as a manager, and that's a terrible thing to have as a manager. And it should have been a firefighter, but I couldn't contain it to just squirting water when there was fires. It started to be everything was a fire, you know. So that's the thing. People don't exist as blank slates. Like, you take a blank slate and go, well, do you want to start smoking cigarettes and marijuana? The answer would be no, of course not. But people don't exist as blank slates. So for me, it's, I smoke a lot of marijuana, but that's a deal I made with myself, a temporal bargaining deal of sorts. I have to quit drinking completely, but in exchange, I made a couple of promises to myself. Things like I could smoke as much pot as I want whenever I wanted to. And that I would get 2 beverages at coffee shops and stuff. I would get Coke and coffee. That was another deal I made with myself. It's the same sort of thing. It's a temporal bargaining arrangement. It's saying I have to make a sacrifice, but I'm going to reward myself in some way. When you mess with people's successful temporal bargaining management arrangements, that's when you elicit unhealthy and unproductive firefighters. For most people, firefighters are when they're making poor choices because they're upset. If you're pretty well developed, then you'll do something like I do with my firefighters, which is I always pick something that's safe and sane, but indulgent, like playing poker. I know I'm going to go lose money, but I don't care right now. I'm mad about something, so I'm going to go lose $100. That's a sustainable, manageable kind of firefighter. It's something that doesn't really make me feel better, but makes me feel like, yeah, fuck you, you know? So it certainly is better than drinking alcohol, which would be a firefighter that I would not be able to walk back from. You know, if I were to start drinking alcohol again, my whole life would be ruined. So right. So don't tell everyone to F off and die. You know, when you're in an emotional state, don't send a bunch of relationship ending messages to a bunch of people. And so, it's like, well, like Jason says, he's got a maximum amount of money per month you have set aside for that. I don't, for going out to eat and stuff. Yeah, I don't budget it quite like that, but I have a constant sort of awareness of how much we're going out to eat and how much we're spending on it. I check my account balance fairly frequently. I go to the ATM because I don't use online banking because I'm old-fashioned, I guess. I mean, I do use some online banking, but I don't use my bank account's online banking for some reason. I think I forgot the password or something to it and never logged in, and I don't know. Hi, Kyra. So, yeah, we're talking about, I guess, the decision in general to direct your attention to certain things. I allow my attention to be drawn by a lot of different things because I'm an EDOM in part. You know, it's like I see all the stuff here on the external metaphysical field and I want to engage it in general. And so it's easy for me to be dragged along by somebody like Raphael or Cloud when they're being provocative. You think Cloud's an ESFP? It's at this point I'd say it's extremely well established that he's an ESFP. Definitely TI polar. Is NE is all SE style provocation rather than ideational engagement. Every time somebody tries to engage with him ideationally on a TI level, he collapses down to you're just not understanding the whole picture. It's textbook. Words don't matter. You're in a lower dimension. Other sort of 4-slot NI polar TI stuff. But of course, Cloud can identify whatever he wants to. People do. You hope we're all doing well? Well, you're probably going to be disappointed in that hope. Probably at least one person is doing poorly. Feels good to be have a little bit of Adderall in the system. I can feel it pumping through my veins. 30 milligrams to start here. I'm not going to sleep tonight. I didn't sleep last night, but I did sleep during the day today some, but I'm not going to sleep tonight, I'm pretty sure. I might sleep a little bit, but you must delete all my social media now because you have feelings. All right. When I first showed up here and didn't know who anyone was, I tried to engage Cloud and I couldn't TI at all. I just didn't click for him. I mean, right. He just moves on to a new thing anytime if you start working down, he'll go like, from a TI user's perspective, it's like this. He goes, puzzle 1, and you go, piece 2. And he goes, puzzle 1, 1B. And you go, what about puzzle 1A? Okay, puzzle 1B. Piece 2. You go, puzzle 1C. And you go, what about puzzle 1A and B? What's about the next step, Clyde, where you go, you say meow, I say meow, and then you say meow in response to what I say. That's the thing that's always missing. He just moves on to a new point, He doesn't respond to what's being said. It's shifting ground, you might call it. Sure, 8-slot NE, enabling your SE in this environment. I like him too. He's less combative than Raphael. What's the latest conspiracy? I don't know. My dad got the new John Bolton book about Trump. He's sort of skimming through it. It's not really that super interesting, I guess. It's mostly information you already knew. No, I mean, you are using your dominant function. The thing is, you're using 8-slot NE to enable you to use your dominant function on a non-native plane, in the external metaphysical plane, which is why you simply provoke and shift ground. That's using 8-slot NE to enable your dominant SE to function in a non-native plane in the external metaphysical plane. Your ESFP cat sometimes tries to jump places where there's no place to land. Wow. That's really jump first, look later. Leap first, look after. Eric just can't admit he is wrong. I have heard that so many times in my life. It's funny. It's odd because, of course, I can and definitely do. But you have to actually be right. Eric can't admit when he's wrong. It's something that people who are always wrong say to me. It might seem like I can't admit when I'm right when I'm wrong because they've not been right yet, you know. No, it's not the talk, Cloud. You said many times words are meaningless. Kyra, that's not true. You're lying. I mean, you do want to engage with people, but it's not the same thing as communicating with people. It's not the same thing as talking, really. I mean, that's one of the problems with Raphael is inarticulacy. But I'd say the main problem is that he's entirely combative, nonstop, and if he doesn't get, if he's not continually the subject of my attention, then he starts freaking out about how I'm avoiding his point and being a pussy. And if like I miss something in the chat, I'm always accused of like intentionally avoiding his point or something, even though he gets so much more attention than anybody else, right? It's like at that point I'm addressing everything he's saying in full, and he's still trying to attack. It's just like, okay, home fries, you're gonna have to just chill the F out, you know? You are a strong person. You are intimidating at times, Cloud. And compelling, you know? You are a major player around here. I didn't say you accused me of it lots of times. I said I've heard this a million times in my life. I have. I've heard it from all kinds of people, not just from you. Yeah, there's that thing from Raphael. Email Anthrax says, you didn't respond to my earlier comment. Why are you ignoring me? I'm like, oh, just chill out, Raphael. You know, I can't always respond to everything. I'm going to stop feeling feelings one day. Maybe it'll be nicer than hating the feeling of hatred. If I stop feeling hate, that would make me happy, and I hate feeling happy. Well, you know, one of the challenges for INFJ's email anthrax is, as knowers, they really want to think that they can know something meaningful based on what the other person's inner thoughts and feelings are. But, you know, I, as an NE-DOM, I process through every possible thing, you know, basically. And so just because I've considered something doesn't mean you ought to put any weight in. If you ask me, well, did you think meow, or have you ever felt meow or whatever? The answer is yeah, whatever it is. It doesn't mean I've considered it or valued it, you know? But for an INFJ, if they get information about what you think or feel, then they're going to make a lot of meaning out of that doesn't necessarily mean anything when you're dealing with an NE-DOM, at least. I kind of think Raphael might be a very unhealthy FE INFJ. Well, I typed him INFJ out the gate, but I think he's INTJ because he's got so much of a utility for him coming through his arguments. So that's why I'm going INTJ. I don't think universal logic is bad. I think Eric's particular words are bad. I mean, you don't. If the funny thing is, if you actually thought particular words of mine were bad, you'd say, I think Eric's words, and then quote me, are bad. Those are my particular words. You quote me, but you just say, I think insert quote here is bad, but you didn't insert anything. Cloud, idea thing, words, meaningless. Raphael, debate me now, or concede you're wrong. Yeah, totally. Well, look, I mean, the thing is, like everybody else, he's welcome here, and I engage with him honestly and directly. But just because he's welcome, hi, baby, how you doing? Good. I almost called you Raphael. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, that's bad for you, slut. Well, it's because it looks in print a little bit like Rachel. So when I was saying your name, Rachel, and I saw the word Raphael, I almost called you Raphael. There's certainly nothing like Raphael, my darling. I don't mean to imply that at all. It's horrible. Cloud isn't a nihilist. What the hell is up with people? I agree, Cloud isn't a nihilist. But he is a what you might call a word dissembler, which is to say he doesn't like the idea that words being symbols are binary and exclude certain things and include certain things. He doesn't like that kind of distinction making. Yes, you find friends here. You do, David White. You find friends here, and Raphael finds friends here too. The fact that I'm making a video called "I don't have time for this shit" about an email he sent me is not a purpose of condemning Raphael. It is the purpose of saying, of being open and honest about just, come on, dude, seriously, how much time do people expect me to direct to their pet advocacy?
Kitty wants to sit there.
No, she wants to sit on you. She's waiting for you to sit down. She wants your love.
Aww.
Yeah, he is trying to define me now with few sentences with such confidence. This is what I'm talking about. People are unaware of the lack of knowledge. Cloud,
I was just saying that
I'm not trying to limit you to a box. I'm trying to explain why you manifest the way you do in this environment. And that is, in fact, the best explanation for it. Now, you might not like explanations, but if you're going to make an explanation, there are better or worse explanations.
I could surmise.
Would you like to surmise?
Yeah, well, you tell me and I will surmise.
Okay. Well, okay, so I guess this is what Cloud says here. Yeah, Eric is trying to define me now with few sentences with such confidence. This is what I'm talking about. People aren't aware of their lack of knowledge. So what would you present as an interpretation of that, either from a cognitive function perspective or from a explanation of Cloud's motivations, or what the extent to which Cloud is correct, or what response would you have to that?
Oh, wow. I wouldn't even answer because that's such a unintelligent question.
Well, it's not. He's saying, I'm trying to define him with a few sentences. I guess.
Okay, define Cloud in a few sentences.
No, he's saying that I'm trying to do this.
Oh no, you can't do that. You're I ignoring. You wouldn't be able to even if you tried.
I mean, I do try to define you, Cloud, but I think I try to define you with more than a few sentences, right?
Yes.
Okay, so and then he
That's
says,
what I mean. You say the words, and I would surmise to Cloud so that he could understand.
oh, you want to translate them to Cloud?
Yeah,
Okay.
translate. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So
So what I'm saying, Cloud, is that the way you interact here is pretty consistent across time, and it's what I see is you bringing what I would call 8th slot extroverted intuition. That is to say, you're using automatically, unconsciously, the thing that is required to activate and enable your extroverted sensing. You're using extroverted sensing, but it's in an unnatural field. That is to say, here, this is the external metaphysical field. But you're using extroverted sensing. So in other words, your extroverted intuition plays out as simply provocation, response, then you shift ground. Another provocation, response. So you're provoking engagement or response, but you're not actually communicatively following through.
So basically what Eric is saying is that you aren't a troll because you do come in here and have some things that you want to say and make some points, but that you are provocative in what you have to say. And sometimes people take that a certain way, but that still, this environment online is a difficult area for you to argue in because it's metaphysical. It's online, it's on the internet. If you were to be in the forest, hunting for berries or just running in the fields, you'd be much more effective. Or if you were anywhere where you can just be feisty out loud, like a bar.
Okay, but look, Cloud, I'm describing your process. So, for example, right now you're engaging about a point that I've not made. You're ignoring the words I'm saying. So in other words, what I'm trying to tell you is that when you make a statement such as this, but when will you understand that provocation is not my cause but my effect? I've not said whether it's a cause or an effect. What I've said is that the way that your extroverted intuition plays out here is through as it does with an extroverted sensor.
Right.
In other words, when you make a statement, you're not desiring to communicate out the logic of the statement.
No.
You're just desiring to engage a response and then moving away from the points that are being made
Right.
to some other points.
Which is like gets nowhere on the metaphysical plane.
Will you stop with the homosexual stuff, Lawnmower? There's no reason for it. But lack of logic doesn't make me S, it makes you TI polar. Okay, so I understand that, first of all, that's a good TI point. Let me just say. Okay, that's a good TI point, and
it is.
It doesn't mean you're
right.
TI, it just means that occasionally you make a good TI point.
Right.
The thing is, I agree with you, it doesn't make you S. But it makes you one of two types, and you're either the intuitive kind of TI polar or the non-intuitive kind of TI polar. I'm telling you, you're not the intuitive kind of TI polar because it doesn't engage metaphysically. It doesn't engage on the metaphysical plane in the SE style that you engage in.
ENFPs on the metaphysical?
ENFPs are natural NE users. The external metaphysical plane is the native plane of extroverted intuition. So ENFPs and ENTPs can often, when not talking about anything TI related, be almost indistinguishable from each other, make similar kinds of jokes.
Yeah.
You can even see how an INFP, like Curious Kyra, can seem very much like an ENTP.
Yeah.
Make similar kinds of jokes. Because that's extroverted intuition on its natural plane, engaging in natural ways. Curious Kyra is not doing much TI, but you can tell she's using extroverted intuition and not extroverted sensing. I mean, the thing is, of course, Cloud, you are using the intentional manner extroverted intuition, but it's in an 8-slot fashion. Not a dominant fashion. You're definitely not a dominant extroverted intuitor, and you are a TI polar, so that makes you ESFP, not ENFP.
So,
the thing is, of course, I assumed Kyra was an ENTP until we met her. So you could say that proves, Eric, that no matter how certain you are about somebody in the live chat, you don't really know until you actually type them. And that would be a fair critique. I think I'm as sure that I can be without ever talking to somebody with Cloud, but it's still a fair critique.
I feel like sometimes INFJs and ENTPs can look alike too. Like clumsiness in a way, the absent-mindedness.
Yeah, we all were very similar in a lot of ways. Our SI is very similar, 4th and 8th slot.
Yeah, and well, I guess that's nice because it makes it like slip right by us, like it doesn't even really like matter.
Well, I mean, we can both help each other. We're both pretty half-assed about it, but together we can be more whole-assed.
Exactly. I did what I said I wanted to do today, and I vacuumed.
That's excellent.
So,
and I threw the pizza box away.
Yeah, we do stuff. And you took a nap, which I was so happy about.
That was nice. That was a great nap because it followed fantastic intercourse.
Aww.
It's like with Rachel, intercourse is important. Prior to this relationship, intercourse had never been very important, except where it was a point of contention, as it was in my last relationship, which didn't make it good. It just made it an important point, an important narrative thing that needed to be resolved, which is awful. That is impossible. That's just
really.
So anyway, that was a great nap, and
oh, I'm so happy it was a great nap.
And I felt so much, felt a lot of emotion too with chilling with Rachel.
What, Pinky? What's outside?
But regardless,
Hello,
what were they talking about? Oh, SI stuff, right? So it's like our SI is similar. We don't eat a regular schedule of meals. When we get hungry, it's the best thing we could have would be like we should probably just get. My dad's probably right. We should like get one of these $5 pizzas every day and just for the have it here to munch on. You know.
We have the Celeste pizza.
We do, but that requires us to microwave. We are that lazy.
Oh my god! Well, I forget about them all the fucking time. I forget about them.
What do you mean
That's
Eric's
why
lying his
you
ass
remind
off?
me of
Playa.
certain things that are in the fridge.
I'm not lying my ass off at all, David White. I shit you not.
Oh, you're eating
Sex was
so
never
much, you want
very.
some
I always
more?
said sex is
Are
not
you
very
hungry?
important, and in fact, maybe the reason why it never was that great prior to this relationship is because my strategy was all. See, a mistake other people make is they try to pick chicks they think are hot, but I'll get one of the less hot chicks, and I'll get more of other things that I want because sex doesn't really matter. So then I wouldn't really be that into sex. It was like I was always eating dry food. You know, I'm a cat. I've always eaten dry food. Rachel's definitely wet food. Remember, so I'm not shitting you when I say that stuff, David.
Is he out there too? I think I should leave some for trouble.
I fed him not that long ago. He's
You did
fine.
them not long ago.
Yeah, not that long.
Okay.
Today, I fed him today at some point.
That's good.
No, I'm saying Rachel is way more hot than my previous relationship partners. So I always sacrificed in that area previously. That was where I thought I was going to make my good decision, my good, smart, intellectual decision, and not go with my feelings. What I didn't realize, of course, is that it's very important that you be very sexually attracted to the person you're with. And for me, Rachel is just nonstop score. You know,
Thanks, babe.
she's 14 years younger than me, and she's
That's the temperance card.
she's gorgeous, and she's
thanks, babe.
you know, she's fantastic.
I knew he would like my boobs. I can't lie.
I like everything about you. You're
And
my sexy wonder pants.
Oh, thanks, baby. Oh, you know exactly. This is how you. Oh,
I love you so
I
much.
love you so much too. I'm sorry. Oh, cat in a box. Curious Carol.
Kevin Chin lolls at us. That's nice. I appreciate that. That's a friendly lull. I can tell.
It is. You're matching in gray.
What's that one drop of moisture in your icon, Kevin Chan? Does that represent your feelings? Your one drop of feelings that you have? Okay, I know I'm not a big fan of public displays of affection too, but I love my Rachel so much I can't help it.
And I
Because
appreciate
she's so precious and good and wonderful, true.
Thank you, baby.
Who's my human pageant winner? Yes, you are.
Oh! You know, this is real. This is when ENTP and INFJ are together.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel
It's
the
like
love?
this.
Can you feel
Really
my
is.
gloves tonight? As Elton John once romantically sang. Like I tell Rachel sometimes, I'm not just her Danny Glover. I'm her Danny Mittenser.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm Mel Gibson before.
Before he was anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
I'm Mel Gibson before his anti-Semitic drunken rant.
Yes. Hey, Annie H. Also,
You want to sit on?
yeah, whatever
this
side you like me to sit
I'd
on.
rather you sit on this side. It's
Okay.
okay with you. I'll scoot
Sure.
over this way. I
Ah.
like to have the corner seat. I don't know really why.
Hey, you know in that movie they say don't ever put baby in a corner, so
All right. Put Eric in the
I'll
corner
never be
instead.
in the corner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Put Eric in the corner instead.
Hi, Annie. I'm good. Is Octavio Silva here?
Okay, the lawnmower. Now you're bringing in the anti-Semitism too, the homophobia and the anti-Semitism. Really?
You're saying he wasn't wrong? Oh, come on. I'm good, Annie H. Thanks for asking.
About loving Danny Glover. About loving Danny Glover, he wasn't wrong, right?
Yes, that he wasn't wrong about. You gotta love Danny Glover. And you gotta love his son, too. I like his son also. You know, and the kid who's from, he's Childish Gambino.
That's whose kid?
Danny Glover.
That's Danny Glover's kid?
Yes.
Childish
I told
Gambino?
you twice. Yes.
I guess I just don't retain that kind of information usually. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I feel like I've never heard that before.
I mean.
Okay, so look, good for you, Lawnmower. Being gay doesn't justify being homophobic, okay?
Aww.
I'm totally gay for Rachel. It doesn't mean it's okay to be for me to be homophobic.
I'm so gassed sometimes. Where did my pipe go? Where'd the piper?
I think you pulled an American Pie. Put it in your puss.
Uh-oh.
You want to check up there?
Squat and push.
It looks like a flute, kind of almost.
Yeah, it does.
Pink Pipers. Here it is. I found it for you, my darling. This
Where
is your
I usually
coffee.
keep it.
Did I fail to give you your coffee? Did I make it and leave it here?
Oh no.
No, it's right here.
Yes. The answer is yes. Yes, you did fail to drink it out to me. That's okay.
No, I think you brought it back over here with this cookie. Because when
I did. You're right. You're
had
right.
a cookie over there.
Yes, you're right. Because I burst out and I put it there. My bad.
All right, so we're
My
gonna
bad.
make tonight. That's okay, darling. Of course, no, it was already out of mind. We're gonna make tonight's dish here on Cooking with Eric. We're gonna make kheer payankak in Asami,
Ooh.
or translated, that's lizard meat with potatoes.
And it's captured. The lizard has been captured by pee-pee.
Look, some of the gayest people in the world are straight people.
Yep.
For example, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. And he's definitely straight.
For example, Billy Corbin.
Yeah. I think he's straight too.
Yeah,
I never
that's what I'm
questioned
saying.
if
Some of the
if
gayest people in the
yeah.
world are straight, right? Those people are super, super gay. Remember that skit from Little Britain, The Only Gay in the Village? No, I don't. You're kind of back. Sort of tell a friend.
I wanted to
Look who
tell
might
you
be
'cause
back.
I have your baby bang thing happened.
Did you get your mail yet?
Yeah, did you? Hi,
Octavia
Octavia Silva.
Silva.
Did you get your mail yet? I asked my sister and she hasn't gotten hers, so I want to know if you got yours.
Have you gotten a new
No.
envelope in mail right
Okay.
now? It'll be there soon. Because Rachel mailed it a couple days ago. And that means it'll be there by noon tomorrow. Maybe.
Maybe. Yes, but
Don't you want it? You know you can't believe it. It's not there yet. Yes, you want it. I wish I had a best gay friend, because I would enjoy friendship with a male without turning it into sexual tension. Oh, actually, you want a gay male best friend. You want what's known as a flag hag.
is that what it's called?
So without the L.
A beard is when a guy acts straight for a girl,
Yeah.
right?
Whereas the equivalent
Yeah, that's
is
Octavia
a
Silva.
flag hag, as they say.
Yeah,
Without the
flag
L,
hag.
though. Okay. I don't want to get in trouble with you two, but I don't want any hate speech stuff. What type are you, Lawnmower? Okay, so it's not just Raphael whose shit I didn't have time for, right? The other person whose shit I don't have time for is Tiberius Mononoke. Boy.
Who's that?
He's the other one who was battling me in the live stream this morning.
Oh.
Okay, so he's one of those.
Thank you.
I'm gonna mute this for a second, okay?
Yeah.
And
He has to explain something to me.
I'm gonna play 2 minutes of something that
Oh no.
No, I'm gonna play 2 minutes of something that tells you exactly who this person is, okay? All right. So the thing I just had Rachel watch is the first 2 minutes of season 2, episode 5 of Harley Quinn, in which there are these two two guys sitting on a couch. One of them's never watched the show Harley Quinn, but dismisses it as a tsunami of virtue signaling about feminism, in which ultimately every arc's about how the problem is the patriarchy and how disgusting it is. And so it's like, what happened was this. I started this live stream talking about how good I had just watched that 2 minutes right there.
Oh my gosh!
And I said, okay, this is so smart. I have to stop and live stream about it. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
So live stream. Tiberius Montgomery comes in, and he's like, I watched the first 5 minutes of it, and it's already blaming the old white people, and I was just like, no, thank you, and basically pulled his same sort of approach to it as just a tsunami of virtue signaling about feminism without having watched the show.
That's
right?
hysterical.
And I was like, oh my God, dude. Thank you for showing up here. You've got to watch the first 2 minutes of season 2, because episode 5, because you are totally destroyed in it. They totally destroy you. It's such a smart 2 minutes of show.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, you just saw it. That's the 2 minutes I'm talking about.
So I can't believe that happened.
The thing is, it's like they're so accurately destroying that kind of person, that kind of pedant who is so anti-feminism that they just hate any show that's got chicks as a lead or something,
Yep.
And they think it's all just virtue signaling.
But I haven't even gone to the third.
The second season?
I only know 2 females right now in the series. I only know Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. And yes,
right.
Poison Ivy is from the comics. She's a big character.
Okay, yes. but look, the thing is, it's what the guy is saying basically is, you're right. The show is not female character especially heavy.
No, but there's 3, right?
But right now, but the point is this. Yes, there is a general movement in the world towards more diversity that at times can get just insufferable. Like Google putting up, we're showing how much we care about Black trans lives and stuff. It's just absolutely insufferable.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that everything that upholds those values is bad. So in this instance, you're talking about a show that is very good show. It is consistent with those contemporary diversity values in PC culture, in the sense that it's a very diverse show, so to speak, or that it is not supporting the patriarchy or misogyny in general. They are feminist characters, but that doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it virtue signaling. There are legitimate concerns where individual people, because they are women, feel as though they are having their individuality imposed upon due to their gender, and that's not cool. No kind of groupism is cool. People shouldn't impose on other people things that they assume about them, about their groups, Yeah, Dr. Psycho is hilarious.
And thank you for the comment. 6-6.
Right. So that's the sort of thing that I'm saying is being made fun of in the first 2 minutes of that episode. What Cloud says there. Harley Quinn is just milking character for profits and pushing feminist agenda.
Oh, come on.
It is not pushing any feminist agenda. If you actually watch the show, it's really smart. It's not pushing a feminist agenda at all.
At all. It's just a cartoon.
And it's a really good show.
Yeah.
But it does uphold contemporary values regarding groupism, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, this is getting over it.
Just because it's like, there are examples of shows that go like, all right, well, look, because there's times right now, we're going to cast this show.
Yeah,
it's going to be about a Black trans les person and an Asian person who are dating. And even though the guy is Black trans les, they act totally like a straight person. And, a bunch of, it's like, it's a thing that this kind of cringy
pushes it too much.
Yeah, like we've got to show that Black people are accomplished. So Bill Cosby show, like we're gonna make him a surgeon and his wife some other kind of super professional, or
example. Yeah. Or It bothered me too. The show that I really liked, Happy Endings, had a character who's straight and played gay, and unfortunately, he didn't do like a very good job of it. And I don't think it did well with the audience. People knew right away, like, hey, this guy like doesn't seem gay at all. Like,
And it was trying to be forward or progressive by
Right.
saying gay people don't necessarily act gay.
right.
You know,
It pushed
and it had a
to-
transracial
to-
couple in it and all that stuff.
Yeah, so like it didn't need to push it. It pushed it a little bit too.
Another one that did it too much was that movie you showed me, Booksmart. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Booksmart.
Yes.
That did it
Yes.
way too much, and especially at the end. It was just like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I got to your point.
Yes,
Oh,
so
that's
much.
what I wanted. The poker. Can I have the poker?
Yeah, sure. But the thing is, the point is that he really got zinged when by that comparison, because of course it was the truth that he hadn't watched the show. He just dismissed it after
See,
watching the
that-
first 2 minutes as a bunch of tsunami of virtue
Yeah.
signaling about feminism.
I've been.
Even though it's not that at all.
It's not. It's funny.
At that point, you transition
They're
from
good
being
characters.
supporting of truth, justice, and rationality over irrationality, which of course third wave feminism counts as irrationality. It's just another form of groupism, right? Just like Black Lives Matter is irrationality, it's another form of racism. So you shouldn't like any of those things. But it doesn't mean that everything with Black people in it is bad, or everything with women in it is bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. Bye, Octavio Silva.
Later.
I'm pretty good
Let us know when
at
you
doing the San Diego gay guy voice. Who's the San
get
Diego gay
your-
guy?
letter.
Yeah. Victory to you too, Octavio Silva. Fight on. Fight on for USA. Fight on, fight on. That's okay. Look, this is the thing. When we talk about what feminism is, we're talking about different things. I consider myself a feminist. What does that mean? It means I think that every human being should be treated like an individual human being and not reduced to being a member of some group that they're in, be their gender, their age, their race, or other stupid shit like that. Okay.
Oh,
So I dislike things that undermine the individual, yes. And if there is advocacies that are all about gaining perks for certain groups, special privileges without equal responsibilities or something, then obviously I would oppose those notions. But those trying to say that those represent feminism is disingenuous and reductive.
Thanks. I want a choker. I like chokers. I used to wear them as a kid. Actually, maybe I could have my sister mail them to me or something. I don't know.
I mean, not all the men are bumbling idiots in that show at all. I would say that, in fact,
Superman
even
isn't.
Dr. Psycho is not a bumbling idiot. He's kind of a douche, but he's actually quite effective in lots of
Yeah.
circumstances. The actor guy, Mudman, he's quite successful
He's
in
funny.
lots of circumstances. The relationship between Kite Man and Ivy is great.
It is.
It's really refreshing.
It's so funny.
You know?
The whole thing is really funny, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's good. What are you
I have
looking
some
for?
more
Weed?
bud.
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Thanks.
I want to just have this. Let me move this table between us. How about that?
Sure.
Make more sense than we could both access the.
I just moved it because
Resources.
of, vacuuming or.
Well, there's also the issue of. Let's put some things. I think I can do that. Pushing this back a little further.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we have the table and we're both in frame.
Yes.
So, I believe I'm the most egalitarian person to believe in equality for everyone. All I see is a lot of women abusing the system as well. Like, what are your examples of that? I don't see that to be the case.
Yeah, I'm asking. I wanted to know the same thing. Like, where you see that?
Oh, Clayface, whatever it's called. You want Eric to do a makeup tutorial? You know what? I want Rachel to do a makeup tutorial on me.
Okay.
That's what we should do.
Mm-hmm. I could definitely do that.
You want to do something right now? Do you want to do
Sure.
either you could show like what you think of a specific thing to
you
do
want
with
to
makeup?
Megan Lavoda brows?
Yes.
Okay, I can give you them.
All right. So I'm gonna record this separately from the live stream too, and I'll post it.
Okay, great.
As Rachel gives Eric Megan Lavoda brows.
Yeah, I can do it.
Cool. So,
You look like a beauty queen, just like PP.
I still think a lot more work needs to be done to make life of women better in the rural areas of development, where feminists are more interested in fighting about it. See, you keep talking about this group of people called feminists who are advocating these bad things.
Yeah, because
What I'm saying is, give me examples of people who are actually trying to get or who have gotten, whatever you say up here. Where was it? I think we've reached the point. Bill Burkett is right here. I think we've reached the point where it would be better for society if we stopped talking in terms of identity politics. It's not doing any good to society at all. It's hurting everything. I agree. But what you say here is, I am the most egalitarian person to believe in equality for everyone, but all I see is a lot of women abusing the system in the developed world. I want to know what you mean. What's an example of women abusing the system in the developed world?
yeah, what do you mean by that? Also, I'm a feminist, but I'm a feminist because I believe in equal rights. That's why. Equal rights for everyone.
And what you say here, Jason Blood, but feminists are more interested in fighting about how few clothes they can wear. Okay, the fact that they have to fight for it means that there's still a need for some feminism, right? You notice men aren't fighting about what kind of clothes they can wear because nobody ever says to me, Eric, you're dressed slutty.
True line.
Nobody has ever said that to me. No matter if I'm just wearing shorts and nothing else.
You know what? I will. I'll try to make a point.
Okay. You'll be the first one ever to say it.
Yeah, but I'll let you know when you go over the line. Excuse me, mister.
Do we watch ContraPoints? I don't know what that is. I don't even know what it is.
Yum. My bag of tricks is not a bag. It's from Wonderland.
Cool. So maybe let's get a little bit better lighting here, since we're going to record it separately too. So we've got this new, differently working lamp. We're going to call it that. You successfully made the lamp work differently than it did before.
I am so sorry. It literally was one pull, like one swipe up, and it was gone.
It's got to be another piece.
I know.
Have you looked around here a lot for another piece?
No, I haven't. But that's what I'm thinking I'm missing is the other piece.
It has to be.
I know. Well, that's not such a bad way of using it.
All right, this is fine though. I mean, we can use it like this. I just wish it would sit on top of the pole.
Well. I just put that back there temporary.
That's fine. I'll put it back in the garage.
Cool.
We're not going to need it anytime soon. No? Yes?
Oh, no. Only if we're going on a trip.
I'll grab this thing and see if I can make this one.
Cool.
Let's see if this
I believe in you.
It does. What do you know? It doesn't? The screw in there? No. The screw in this way? No. It does fit. Sort of. I'll take this thing off. See if it fits over this.
I'm going to use my English accent because right now all the raging makeup artists are English.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
They're like the hotbed of makeup artists?
Yeah, they go with the trends.
You wouldn't have thought the British would be so fashion forward. But I guess they are.
Yeah. They sit at home and they do their makeup and then they review it and they make their own makeup and they do pretty good.
They've put aside their old beef and kidney pie ways and embraced the new cosmopolitan Europe.
Exactly. So, darling, this is going to be a delightful event.
We're gonna Lavota up my face.
I mean, we all know Megan Lavota has the most delicious dark eyebrows on YouTube, especially in the MBTI community.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to start this video off screen. I'll do the intro and then bring you over here, okay?
Okay.
I need to put this up. And meow the meow. Hi friends, host Eric here, host Talking with Famous People. There's something I've long been desperate to do. And I've finally gotten up the courage and the resources to bring in a professional makeup artist because today is the day. I have long dreamed of stroking at least one of Megan Lavota's eyebrows with my finger like this. But I don't think it's ever going to happen because, first of all, I've got a beloved girlfriend and she probably wouldn't like that. So instead, what I've decided to do is I've brought in a professional makeup artist to make my eyebrows into Megan Lavota's brows. Professional makeup artist Rachel Rapalosa, please welcome.
Hello.
This is Rachel. This is Rachel
My
Rapalosa.
name's Rachel, and I'm a makeup artist.
So you know all about brows then, don't you?
I do know a lot about brows. And I do know that Megan Lavota's brows are very famous on Talking with Famous People and on the YouTube community. But
he's asking too much. Can you get regular brows like this to be Lavota-esque?
well, I want you to know that all eyebrows are beautiful, no matter what shape. But if you really want to go the extra mile, all you need is a little bit of pencil.
Pencil, huh?
Pencil, and that will give you a Megan Lavota thick eyebrow look.
So just to clarify, what's currently wrong with my eyebrows, is it inadequate sheen?
Well, there's nothing wrong with your eyebrows, but if you would like her eyebrows,
Right.
they have more of a tail at the end.
I see.
As you see, you'll stop right here.
Because mine are too short.
Yes. And hers go thick all the way down. They taper down to probably about there.
Okay, so if we accept that the premise that Lavota brows are the platonic form of brow, then to the extent that my brows deviate from that, there's something wrong with my eyebrows. So make my eyebrows more correct, Rachel.
Okay.
Rachel, I'm sorry.
So what I'm going to do right now is line the outside of the shape of your eyebrow, which goes here to there, and then it goes up over here, and then
Now, we're going to need to pull out any of my existing brow hairs?
no.
That's amazing.
You keep them.
So even with my inferior brow hairs, you can make my brow look like Megan Lavota just with makeup?
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yes, it really is.
You British pioneered some new technology, I guess, in eyebrows.
Yes. Actually, it's a very true statement you just made. You don't even realize it. Okay, so I'm starting it out. You see, I'm lightly stroking inside. Can you see how it started?
So if I were to push down too hard, well, how would I know that I'd push down too hard? It'd be too dark?
Yes, it'd be a lot darker than your natural. So, if you push down too hard and you don't leave any room for some of the nude of your skin to show through, it's going to look like you painted it on.
Do you think Megan Lavota's brows are her natural brow color, or do you think she dyes her brows?
I think they're natural.
It's her natural brow color, huh?
Yes. She has very dark hair. Sometimes you...
So do you think to make my brows look more natural, you need to put a little bit of gray hair into them?
Yes.
You have a gray pencil?
I do not. I have blonde.
How about whiteout?
Whiteout will work too.
Look, as the platonic form of brow, Megan Laboda's brows are genderless, okay?
Okay, I'm going to go a little bit more. Hers extend a little bit outside yours. So just little flicks. Okay. Like that. All you need are little flicks. And you've got great corner right there. Right.
Now, this doesn't just happen, of course. Rachel here, apparently, what the office told me was she spent weeks now studying various pictures of Megan Laboda so she can really imprint in her mind exactly what those brows look like. And she is creating on me. If you just look from here up, right now, you could easily mistake me for Megan Laboda.
I think so. I think so. I'd like to think so.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to make them even darker. All right. So I'm really going to bring down the point. So see where your hair is. Yep. Just a touch.
That's looking good. You want to do the other one now, or you want to keep going that one? You want to switch seats? Yeah, let's switch seats. That makes sense. So just I'm going to give everybody a close-up of this here. What we've got, if you just look from here to here, you could easily, if you just saw that, you would go, Megan?
Oh, Megan!
Megan! You know, and then you pull back and go, that's not Megan, but it's a brow. Wow, Eric, you've got amazing brows. Well, one of them anyway. The other one's horrible. Let's see if we can fix that.
Okay.
Okay, Jason Blood, that's not a problem with feminism. Neither
Thank you,
of the two.
Cantankerous Son for good.
I don't want to get any of that talk into this video. Let's just get me looking like Megan a little bit.
Yeah, I think you are.
All right. Well, one brow of me is.
Yeah, you're starting to. They're gorgeous eyebrows.
They work on any gender, any age.
Any gender, any age.
Any skin
timeless,
color.
any skin color.
Any skin tone.
They are definitely brows to aim for.
They work well when I'm tan. They work well when I'm pale in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Now, would you recommend any particular color of clothing to accent these brows? Or should I wear a hat or no hat? Is that taking away from or adding to the brows?
I would add a hat. Hats draw to the face. So you could absolutely wear a hat. And it'll add a little bit of excitement to the eye when it goes to the brow.
Now, what I'm thinking is, you know, they have those full face veils that just have a slit for the eyes, right? I'm thinking maybe I could wear one of those, but just have it a little bit of a wider slit. So it has the eyes and the brows only showing on my face.
Okay.
Now, if I could just get rid of the eyes as well, just walk around with everything veiled except the brows, do you think I would get all kinds of special treatment everywhere I went?
Absolutely.
I think so too.
All right, I'm getting there with the second eye.
Ever heard of the reputable eminent actress Amber Heard?
Yes. She married Johnny Depp most recently. And was in Aquaman, actually. She played the redhead lady.
Okay, but Jason Blake, that's an example of an individual engaging in injustice.
Around to the other side.
Right. Now, it's absolutely the case that if you're going to talk about like
Ooh.
like equal pay kind of shit, then that's nonsense because the stats being used to justify those claims are bullshit.
Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Look how luscious and full. I really think that if you put a mask on.
Megan, are those your brows? Oh my god, it's so real. I can barely tell myself. That is some brow action. So if you want to know how you can look 10 years younger and 400 times better with just the work of a single professional makeup artist.
Yes.
And I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 stars on Yelp.
Oh, thank you very much.
Rachel Rapalosa, she does great work. She does quick work too. And, you know, what I want to do, as soon as I end this video, I want to go take these babies out for a stroll.
Ooh.
I think when I walk down that street, every eye's going to turn to me.
I think so too. I mean, look at those brows. I mean, I could even work them some more, give you a little bit more on the other side. You're right. Don't they look expressive?
Can you give me a little bit more
down
in the middle here?
Absolutely.
Like a little bit more of a supervillain look, maybe?
Like a V?
A little bit more like that, yeah. Ah,
That's the actual way it will look.
a cigar.
Yeah, it's so expressive.
Right?
Yeah, that's very.
See, I think if you draw a line from here to here and here to here, then I could look mad. Does that even look mad? Ma, I am so surprised.
You definitely more of it.
Put a little bit more in there, yeah. Give me.
Where would it be? Where more?
Just darken the same thing you just did.
Oops.
Oops. Okay, so with just the addition of this, I go from most beautiful brow in the world to surprise comment. I don't know what happened. I don't know why there's water all over your floor. I don't know. I got this monobrow. I can't help it.
You really do look like.
I don't know.
Like the Italian who doesn't.
Ay.
No, ay. What do you mean?
So I'm gonna fix it by getting rid of this part in the middle now. Okay.
Yeah, I have cleaning stuff you can use.
Yeah, just push my
Wipes.
finger like this. There.
Oh, that's it.
I got it pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at it! Look.
I'm looking good.
Yeah, you definitely got to go out on the town and show those babies off.
Wait, Rich, I want you to film me real quick. Just try to get just the brows in the frame as much as possible without my face. Just like try to get right here, like a really thin slice of brow. Okay. Try to get the top of my head. Or I know I'll put a hat on to hide the top of my head. Okay. Now I try to just get the brows. Just get the brows. Yeah, right there. I'm Megan Lavoda. Just forget about your past and embrace the new you, now and forevermore. I type you as INFP. Could you tell the difference?
No.
I don't think anybody could. Everybody thought, wait, am I on the wrong channel? All right. Anyway, that's how you do Megan Lavota brows, as per professional makeup artist Rachel Rapalisa. Thank you. Great job, Rachel.
Thank you. Great working with you. Enjoy your brows.
Thanks. I will.
I know one time I used to work at this place called the Green Turtle, and it was a restaurant, and one of the bartenders was a makeup artist, and she was like, did you ever think about doing your eyebrows? And I was like, yes, all the time. I was like, I don't pluck them anymore. They just don't grow back. So she's like, let me put some makeup on you. And she like drew where my natural like one go. And I was like rocking them the whole day. And my mom's like, wow, they look really nice. But it was a little intense for me.
Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can crop out the chat from this video that we just made.
Okay.
So that it's I'm not sure. I've never really done this in this app before, so I'm not quite sure how to do it. Let's see. Hi, friends. Host Eric here. Host Talking with Famous People. There's something I've long been desperate to do. And I've finally gotten up the courage and the resources to bring in a professional makeup artist, because today is the day. I have long dreamed of stroking at least one of Megan Lavota's eyebrows with my finger like this. I could cover it over with something like that. I used to have one of just brows. I could do the different brows.
Yeah. Like that face or something.
I could do all the different possible brows, right?
Yeah.
I could just add more of these. So like this one, emoticon 2, I could go, yeah, right? And then after emoticon, I mean, that's emoticon 1 is, wait, where's emoticon? Oh, there's emoticon 1, I see. So this needs to be like, yeah. Emoticon 2 has no eyebrows, so we want to do one with eyebrows. Like this.
Hi. Hello.
Of course, I forget that I'm live streaming. Okay. Emoticon 2.
Yeah, it's bright. And you are kitty pageant winner. Yes, you are. It's you. You're the kitty pageant winner.
Mommy's right, PB. You are the kitty pageant winner. She's not lying this time. She's telling the truth about your beauty.
No, I always tell the truth about your beauty. Yes. Oh, you said mommy. Mama. Yes.
Is that what she's saying, Mom?
Yeah,
How sweet.
Isn't it? Capillo is the name for you. For you are a sweetheart. It's true. Isn't that what it means? Or a sweet kiss?
Sweetheart, yeah.
Oh.
meow. And
Nice.
we will meow, meow. And then meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
And for the meow. And meow. Yeah. And there's another one with those things.
Thank you. Thank you, computer. Thank you. I'm so happy in the presence. Yes, it's true.
And there we go. Make this a little smaller. Like now. There we go. Okay, make this a little smaller. Like now. There we go. And there we go. And we will share the video. Yeah. Brow time. And call that one brow time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brown time, USA. Now I definitely have to take my allergy medicine, but it's all for the kitty love. Yeah. Mommy loves Kitty Capillo.
She's a very special kitty. The kind that mommy loves a whole lot. Okay, now we'll call this brow time. There, now that's encoding. I can probably, let's see what's going on in the chat and stream. Well, I've ignored you for a long time now, people. Let's see what you've done. Have you all left? No, not quite all of you. Well,
I look nice on you,
thanks.
and I think you are strong
Fist.
and beautiful.
Strong fist. Hashtag strong fist.
Boom.
I think you're strong and beautiful too. You're a big, strong, beautiful woman in the
Thank
most
you.
feminist way.
Wow, see, it does accentuate your brows when you wear a hat.
Mm-hmm. Let's try a different hat. Let's
Okay.
see what it looks like.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
Oh, this is the hat I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Ooh, Dean Martin.
How do I look with the Megan brows?
Oh, look at that.
Ay, ay, ay.
It looks like you play the sax.
Hey there.
Yeah.
Give me another scotch on the rocks and a big sandwich, all right?
I'm gonna do it
I'm
too.
gonna play the saxophone right now.
Look good, baby.
Yeah. How about now?
Now.
Not so much. I like these. These brows actually look relatively natural on me.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Thank
weird.
You, babe.
It's like, even though they're the wrong, they don't have any gray in them. You can almost believe these are my natural brows.
Yeah. You definitely have those. Yeah.
Because nobody really just dyes their brows.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be weird for somebody to just dye their brows. It would just people just seem like, wait, let's just have dark eyebrows.
It's a magic trick in cosmetology.
Is it to just color the brows?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes you look younger.
And a British Cara Delevingne. She's British. She's a model. She brought back thick eyebrows, so that's all the rage. It was.
You know, I'm bringing back thick nose hairs.
They look good. Yeah, you are.
Just wait. In a couple of years, I'm gonna start letting those hairs you pluck grow out. I'm gonna have a whole mane of nose mane,
Can
and
I
it's gonna
pet
be
them?
oh, it's gonna be all the rage. People are gonna be gluing fake nose manes under their noses, left and right.
You feel beat up by society? I do too sometimes.
Who's beat up by society?
Curious, Kyra.
Mm.
I feel that sometimes too.
I'm a very sexy brow.
Sometimes brows gray last. Yeah, there are. Like, I can think of Ted Danson. He went gray pretty early, but he kept his eyebrows for a little bit. But now he's all gray. Like, his eyebrows are gray and, like, white even.
You know what his best career decision was?
What?
Going blackface.
Oh my god, what the fuck? You in blackface?
Yeah, he was trying to make some sort of statement, but
Oh my
ham-fisted
God.
it, you know? I think he was going out with Whoopi Goldberg at the time.
Wow, that's a big time bad move.
Let me see.
He did go out with it.
Did he go out with Whoopi
I
Goldberg?
don't know. I think you're right.
Let me see. Let me Google this. I have just a sort of glimmer of a recollection of the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. Yep, there you go. New York Associated Press.
In 1993, actor Ted Danson showed up in minstrel blackface and peppered his jokes with racial epithets at the Friars Club roast of his lover, comedian Whoopi Goldberg. Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg?
Such a strange
couple.
Yeah.
If you had said, like, okay, you know, if you asked a trivia question, if I didn't remember this specific story and have this weird glimmer of memory about it, if somebody said, like, who do you think Ted Danson probably dated in the 80s? And you didn't know the answer, Whoopi Goldberg, you would never guess that. You would never get down to Whoopi, no matter how many people you thought of.
He had like two good, that would be a good, like, true thing. You know, that game, like, 2 truths and a lie? Like, he could always use that one. Like, I went out with Whoopi Goldberg and no one will think that it's the truth.
The former cheer star offended Mayor David Dinkins, talk show host Montel Williams, and others said his performance was over the line, even for a function where the highest compliment is a crude brutal insult. Danson appearing in top hat and blackface with big white pansy lips, used the word nagger with an I more than a dozen times as he joked about his and Goldberg's sex life and other topics.
Oh.
Danson said, I was told. When Dinkins about to arrive, Danson said, I was told the mayor is coming, so be careful. Don't do any political jokes. Just do nagger jokes.
Oh my
That's pretty funny, actually.
Wow.
That is pretty funny.
That is funny.
I mean, I'm impressed.
told.
Actually, no, but the thing is this: if this is the joke when the mayor's about to arrive, that's pretty goddamn funny. You know, it's like not the whole thing obviously backfired on him.
Was ballsy.
I mean, the whole thing backfired on him, but this joke right
that is funny.
is hilarious.
That is.
You
That
know?
really is. It is.
It's more hilarious today than it even was at the time.
Yeah.
I was told the mayor's coming, so
Oh
be
my
careful.
God,
Don't
what?
do any political jokes. Just do nagger jokes.
Oh my gosh. Well, now he's married to someone who, like, it totally makes sense.
That's funny. Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg. If they were going to be given a couple name, it would be Whoopanson
That's it. That's great.
or Tippy Gold Dan. Tippy Gold Dan is a good name for that couple.
That is. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good NI, babe.
Mm.
And coffee.
I'm kind of feeling like wrapping this up.
Okay.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
All right. Love y'all. See you later.
Bye.
Remember, you are
Don't
loved.
forget.
You are loved.
You are loved.
My second wife said anyway.